Welcome back to the stream, everybody. You got a little bit of Sean in there, but everyone needs more Sean in their lives. So,
oh, I'm sorry.
Roll dice. It is time to roll initiative and get into this combat. Oh, all right. Tom with a 9.
Whoa, there's way more goblins than I thought there were.
Mike does not participate.
Yeah.
I don't even know what a 0 initiative looks like, dude. What happens? Tell me what happens that gives you a 0 initiative.
I'm pretty sure that means I get a lair action, right? Like
Rose also with a 9. Sambar, you rolled a 22, correct?
Yeah.
All right, let's roll for some goblins and a goblin boss. Goblins roll at +2. Oh, the goblins go at 22. And the he also rolls. He goes at 11. And he's almost dead. Okay, so all of you hear this goblin boss just shouting in goblin after getting struck. Goblin, 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 goblin. And then a whole bunch of goblins come rushing out. But first, Sambar, you act just before all of these goblins go, but you hear them rushing around in their room. What do you do?
As that goblin lord chief dude was like almost dead, right? Like he almost keeled over. I'm just gonna quickly put one in his side again, just to.
All right.
Double
Go ahead
tap this
and roll to hit here. A
24.
24. That'll do it.
Ignore the 10 if it turns up. No, it doesn't. Boom.
5 points of damage, and he dies in mid shouting, "Goblin, goblin, goblin!" And he falls over, dead on the floor. And as that happens, you see a bunch of goblins come racing out of their little homes here. 2 of them from each of these side rooms are going to open fire. The other ones, I believe, are outside of there. No, I actually don't think they are. Hold on. Yeah, I can shoot you. Alright, you're gonna get a hailstorm of goblin fire as they come bursting out of these rooms to...
Well, thank God they came out, because I got a second attack and I need something to shoot at.
Yeah. Feel free to fire one off here as the rest hail you.
Alright, I'm gonna shoot bottom front.
Okay.
Come on. Soak a good one. 20?
20 hits?
Yeah, 16 damage.
Alright. Well, we will reduce your number of incoming attacks by 1. So, they all roll at a +4 to hit you. So we have a 23, a 20, a 20, a 10, an 8, a 10, and a 23.
Okay, anything over 18 hits me.
Alrighty, so we have 4 hits there as a hail of arrows just come flying at you.
Do I get extra cover from the statue I'm standing in front of?
No. You had to pop out to attack here.
Yes. I was trying. Oh, lawyer.
It's alright, it's good. That's solid. So, you take a total of 17 points of damage from these arrows just kind of prickling you. And with that is their turn, which brings us back around to Janlar. You hear all of this commotion. Goblin, 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 goblin! Racing out behind you, or in front of you. Sambar is in the heat of combat, and you are way back here at the end of the hall. What do you do?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty encumbered, but seeing Sambar in the heat of combat, I'm going to start sprinting forward as fast as I can, which is not very fast, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Didn't you lighten the load by putting more shit in my bag?
Yeah, so that I can walk around.
Alright. Janlar, you come rushing forward, trying to get in the fight, and you're still very far away.
Yeah, that was with a dash. So
Okay.
It should be 40 feet, right? Yeah.
Yes, you can move 40 feet while encumbered. Alright, and with that brings us around to both Rose and Tom. You guys both going at 9. What are you doing?
I guess I'm dashing forward.
All right.
So 1,
Yep.
2.
I'll do the same.
It's 5, right? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Alrighty.
And I think that's everything I can do.
Okay. Alright. Same for Rose, it
I
seems.
moved as well. Yo.
Alright. Gorik, you of the 0 initiative.
Yep.
What happens to you, man?
Gorik is going to sort of see all of this, hear all the shouting. I'm just going to turn and start walking down this hall. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And I'm going to use a bonus action to cast Shield of Faith. I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay.
Yep, it is.
Perfect.
All right. And then, as my action, I'm going to invoke my Necrotic Shroud.
Ooh. Alright.
So, Gorik is going to start walking down this hall, and as he kind of steps out of the darkness, and the darkness just clings to him, and his eyes sink, and these, this sort of like skeletal, wispy, like robe starts appearing around him, and he just starts walking, and he kind of shouts down the hall at the goblins, "Leave this place now. Take your kin and never return. Death has come to you."
Oh, very threatening. I like it. You shout this, and you hear your voice echo down the hall as these goblins do not understand common. But you are a very threatening presence. What is the check that your frightening visage gives you if they're within 60 feet?
It's actually only if they're within 10 feet of me.
Oh, if they're within 10 feet. What's the check that they make?
It is a DC 12 charisma save versus being...
Alrighty. I'm going to give them a group charisma save at advantage, since you are very far away from them and they can't understand you. But you are very frightening. They're
I just
a
had this
flat
image of
2d20.
goblins looking at each other like, that's very frightening.
Alright, they all look at you. You see 8 or 7 now, as this front left one has died. You see 7 sets of eyes just turn to look at you for a moment, and then turn back to Sambar, greedily. Alrighty, which brings us to Sambar. It is your turn. What do you do?
Okay. I'm gonna shoot some more in the face, and then I'm gonna back up. So,
Okay.
we'll go this bad boy here.
Okay.
Top, bottom, front. Nah, definitely don't hit with a 6.
Oh, no, a 6 does not make it happen.
Yeah, let's just try that again. For 11.
Is that an 11 or a 9?
A 9, my bad.
A 9 misses.
Okay, I'm gonna second wind. So,
Okay.
let's roll second wind real quick. Did I swear. Oh, there it is. Schwap. 6 hit points.
Okay.
And then I'm going to back up into here. So 20 feet. So
As
Good.
you enter that door, you are surprised by 2 goblins who had wriggled in here through the walls, and they have prepared actions to strike at you. You get struck at advantage here. So the first one rolls a 20 to hit you, and
That'll
the
hit.
second one rolls a 16, which I think misses.
and that does not.
Alrighty, so you will take an additional d6 plus 2. For 5 points of damage as it sticks you with its arrow, and they begin shrieking and gobbling. Goblin, 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 goblin! Alrighty. Now it is the goblins' turns. These 2 are going to hit and run. So they fire their arrows once again. They do no longer have advantage. With an 11 and a 21 to hit you.
21 will hit.
Alrighty, so you take 8 more points of piercing damage. I have forgotten to make you make saves against their poison. Why don't you make one now?
Alright.
DC 9.
Constitution save. Yeah, I crit.
All right, perfect. You are not poisoned at all. After shooting you, this one runs through a hole in the wall and disappears as he attempts to hide. Actually, here. We'll just do it this way. If they successfully hide from your passives, then they disappear into my lair, and if they don't, then they have unsuccessfully hid, and you can see them on the map. This guy runs in here, and he will attempt to wriggle through this wall and get himself a nice hide.
15.
He does not. Okay, these guys all begin rushing forward. And these guys are gonna go down this hall.
Little poopers.
Alrighty, they notch arrows, and that is the end of their turn, which brings us around to Janlar. You've rushed down here. You see the goblins advancing down the hall to you. What do you do?
Well, I'm actually not encumbered. I had done some bad math.
Okay, Janlar finds himself suddenly feeling a much
1,
lighter
2.
as a person.
So let's see. I still think I need a double sprint forward to shoot these people. So I'm just gonna dash forward again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Alrighty.
And that's all I'm gonna do is just dash
Janlar
forward.
dashes forward, robes flying around him as he tries to get into the fray. Perfect. That brings us to Rose. What are you doing?
Yes. Oh my god, I've been trying to draw over here for like the past entire turn. So distance-wise, I would like to move 30 feet. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Then I would like to cast Fog Cloud on this group over here. And now I have to count the squares again. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 50. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that is 100, 110, 120. So I'm going to center it right here.
Okay.
That's my range. I'm gonna take this wonderful circle over here, which is almost perfect. Sorry, it's not entirely perfect, but it's pretty good.
It tells it's 190 feet. 180.
What? Yeah, but like this, you count the squares, right? One square is 5.
Count the squares as 5 feet.
I did it with the squares, and then it would be centered, something like
Stop.
that, I guess.
If you remember from last time, the map grid is a little funky. If you
Yeah,
count
so
the
I
squares,
did it. I did it with the squares, so it's the same as our movement.
Sounds good. All right, a cloud of fog just erupts over these goblins. Is thick and dense, and they all begin looking around and yelling out in Goblin, "Goblin, goblin, 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 goblin!" As a cacophony of goblin voices echoes down the hall back towards you. All right.
Right.
That is an excellent turn. Tom, you see this cloud of fog appear in front of you. What do you do?
I keep doing what I've been doing, and I run forward, javelin poised to throw, shouting as I go. Ah!
Excellent.
7, 8, 9, 10, 12, right there.
Excellent.
Which does not put me in range to throw anything yet.
Alrighty.
Ooh, but I think I see that guy right there. Is he within? Hold on. How far can I throw a javelin? Do you guys?
I believe 30
60,
feet
I
is
think.
close range.
It might be 30. Yeah.
Javelin thrower. Yeah.
It has been a while since anyone has thrown a javelin in one of my games.
He's a little bit out of range, so I'll have to do it next turn.
Alright.
I don't want disadvantage. Plus, this angle's a little bit bad, so I'll wait until I can move some more anyways.
A javelin.
Is 30-60.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. 30 feet, 120. 30 feet is close range, 120 is max.
120. Ooh, that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Alrighty.
One hell of a throwing arm.
So,
Stand by, go.
Goric, you of the zero initiative.
Yeah.
What do you do as you are now in your avatar state?
I will continue moving. This
Alright.
time I will dash up to here
Alright. Rose, you are now inside of the radius of this terrifying visage.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna need you to make a save versus the terror of the other side of the grave.
What kind of save is that exactly?
It's a DC 12 charisma save.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Fantastic. It's literally my worst. Well, I guess that's a
You
fail.
pass. DC 12.
Oh,
Alrighty.
close one. Okay.
You stare into the horrifying visage of Goric.
Greg,
Yes.
I discovered my save DC went up because I'm.
Oh!
Right.
It's 13 now.
It's DC 13! Oh!
Which technically means the goblins would have failed theirs too.
The goblins had a 16.
No, they had a 13. They had a 3 and
I don't think he was mixing the bonus in there.
Yeah, goblins have a -1 to charisma though. So they had a 13 -1.
The goblins had a 13. You are correct.
Yeah.
Well, it's
The
fine.
goblins would have passed if your save was 13.
But don't goblins have a negative charisma save?
Oh, they do.
So they would have had a 12, which technically would have failed. But
It's
I was a
fine.
long ass ways away. So
Alrighty.
I guess I just turn around after having successfully cast that fog cloud with this like a confident smile on my face, and I just look at Doric, and everything just turns to ash. Like,
Yes. You are horrified by what you see. Terror grips at your heart. I believe you cannot move or get closer to Goric while he's within vicinity of you.
so I am frightened. Is that right?
Essentially.
yeah, you're frightened, so
You are
you
frightened.
can't move closer to me. The good news, I guess, is you can't really be any closer to me than you are.
All right. That brings us back around. Sambar, you are tucked away in this room over here, having seen the fog cloud jump up around you. What do you do?
I am very pissed off with those little goblin fuckers. I'm gonna move up here. If I kneel down and look down the tunnel, can I see the one that's here?
Yes. Yes, you can. It's a strange corner there. If you're gonna shoot something through that, you're gonna need to take a shot at disadvantage.
I'll take it.
All right.
13.
A 13 misses. Your shot flies into the tunnel and then bounces around inside of it and comes out just plopping down on the other side, unable to reach the goblin.
Alright, I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna shoot him in the back. Come on, you little shithead. 21. Oh, hold up. I'll roll a second one because I forgot disadvantage. Alright, 21.
21 hits. You
7 damage.
All right, you cuddle up a little closer to the hole, adjust your aim, and fire it through, striking the goblin for 7 points of damage. All right. He's hurt.
Alright, I've got move left. So, it's 5 feet, 10 feet. So, with fog, can you see in it and out of it? I'm not very
No,
familiar with
it's heavily obscured.
You could
No.
not fire a
The
missile
circle.
weapon into it.
Oh, no, I'm more worried about being fired at.
No, it is heavily obscured. They would have to guess and just fire blindly.
Alright, well, I'll dash across the whole way.
All right.
Because I've got just enough movement. And you watch, there'll be more goblins in here too.
There
Anyway.
are not as you enter that room.
Whoo! Alright.
All right. That is
my turn.
Sambar's turn. It is Goblin turn. So this goblin is going to move out here to take a look, thinking it's very well hidden. As it jumps out, it sees Tom and will attempt to fire a bow at him. With a crit,
Whoa.
he will do 6 points of damage to Tom as he fires at him, and then will duck back inside and stay there. Alright, these guys are going to do much the same, but they were much better hidden. So, he pops out, takes a shot. He pops out after him, takes a shot. They both see Tom as the closest threat. So we have a 30s 24. It crits again.
One miss, one crit. Oh, never mind. That's the advantage, right?
Yes, sir.
I thought that was just both attack rolls.
So that is 7 points of damage on that guy. The other one shoots with a 11 and misses. So you take 7 more points of damage from them as they will attempt to run across to the other side, actually.
Goblins rolling dookie on those crits.
Run across, as in
They're
into this
going
room.
over here into this room.
Perfect.
And...
Do we need more poison saves?
Oh, yes!
Oh, yeah.
Please make DC 9 Constitution saves against poison. Thank you for reminding me.
So
I forget.
one fail and pass. Okay, so I take another what? D4.
D4. That is 3 points of damage there for you. Alrighty.
Okay.
And then goblins are moving. So this guy is going to come up here. This guy is going to come up here. These guys in the fog don't like this any, so they're gonna move out of the fog. Try to kind of circle around. And this guy is gonna come back up these stairs right here. This guy's dead. Okay, that is goblin turns. So that brings us over to Janlar. You've seen them pop out and fire at Tom and your friends. What do you do?
I'm gonna move forward a bit, up near Tom, and I'm going to cast Sleep in this room here,
All right.
and it should be a 20-foot radius, I believe.
Yeah, you can get all of them inside of it. Please roll for your hit dice to put to
I'm trying to decide if I want to do it at a higher level or not.
Ah, okay.
I don't know. If there are
Don't
more.
bother. I'm gonna
think-
ruin what you're doing here anyways, so don't even bother.
Are you gonna kill the people in there?
Oh yeah.
Well, why don't you shoot this other side then? We know they're.
They already popped out of this room right here.
Well,
That's
you
my
can't have
decision.
this discussion anyway, so go ahead.
Just
Yeah.
go ahead and do it.
Like,
Go ahead and do
so
it.
it's like-
I'm not trying to stop you from casting the spell, so just go ahead and do it.
I mean, you get advantage if they're sleeping.
Won't
That's
matter.
a lot of hit points worth of goblins.
Oh, yeah. All right. You cast sleep, and every one of them are fast asleep.
I think they get a save, don't they?
Nope, not for sleep.
Nope.
Really?
It is a number of hit points that you can put to sleep. And every creature under that hit point, starting with the lowest, goes to sleep. And a 29 is more than enough to put all of these to sleep.
What's the radius of sleep, Chandler?
20 feet.
20 feet.
If you center it here, can you sleep this guy too?
I don't know if it goes through walls. Maybe. But I did it here because I didn't know. he
Would
was
you
over
like to
there.
center it there?
No, I can't really see this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds
He's
good.
there.
Those guys aren't technically hidden, but we can't really see through walls either, so it's dubious whether we know they're there or not. We
Okay.
probably know there's goblins on the other side of the wall, but not specifically where.
Perfect. So, Janlar, you put them to sleep. Rose, you are terrified, and Gorik is standing between you and the goblins. What do you do?
I don't want to die. I'm just going to and I lean against
Gorik turns to look at you when you're like, I don't want to die. And Gorik's like, everyone dies. And he doesn't mean it to be as terrifying as it is, but
I mean,
His
it's not
mouth comes apart
specifically-
into mandibles as he says it.
It's not specifically directed at me, but since I'm feeling the full effect, I just pull like the hood of my cloak just above my face, and I just like press against the wall as if it was possible to hide there with my grass cloak, but I'm obviously somewhere in the middle of stone, so that's not happening. But I'm just,
You're not
shaking
in a
against
natural
the wall.
terrain, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I'm like, it's a panic reaction. So I'm just like a patch of grass jittering against the wall. And that's my action. There we go.
All right. Tom You have seen Janlar rush up to put these
All right.
creatures to sleep. What do you do?
I'm gonna ruin his best laid plans here by running into this room screaming, "Ah!" And I'm gonna cast Radiance of the Dawn as soon as I get in here.
All right. They all fail their saves. Please roll damage.
So they all take 11 points of radiant damage.
They all take just enough damage to kill themselves. All right.
Nice.
Well done. As you
Got
rush
my-
in, and we have seen Tom cast this as a bright, radiant
Oh, yeah.
light just erupts out, bright as daylight in this room. Maybe searing your eyes just a little bit as you've been accustomed to this dim amber color. You hear the
This
cries of
goblin-
goblins.
And this goblin, because there's a tunnel in this wall somewhere, isn't there?
Yeah, I
There
don't think
is.
it would just go through the wall though.
No, but I think both of those two
Oh
goblins.
yeah, they just see like the light pouring out.
Yeah, they just
it's like
see
it's like somebody
the
took
light.
like a flash picture or something. Just
I was imagining the same thing for Janlar. Like he puts all the goblins to sleep, and then Tom just runs in, and there's like a boom as the light pops out for a second, just a sudden flash.
Very nice. All right. Goric, you are the avatar of death. What do you do?
Yep. I'm going to continue moving 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to here. And there are no goblins that I can see anywhere. So I'll ready an action to cast Toll the Dead on the next goblin that I see
All right.
in
Sounds
range,
good.
which I think is 90 feet.
Sounds good. All right. That is your action. Sambar, you've ducked around into this old tomb here, waiting to see if you can get goblins, but none have shown up in your line of sight. What do you do?
Okay, is there tunnels in these walls here?
There are, yes.
Perfect. I'm gonna stand on this edge here, like with my back in the mist, and I'm gonna have my bow ready. I'm gonna ready my attack action to attack any goblins that come into this room through those tunnels.
Perfect. All right.
I ain't getting shanked again. Fuck that shit.
And sure enough, on your turn, you see a goblin begin worming his way through the tunnel. Wah!
Alright. Sucker. Okay. It's a standard attack roll on a goblin coming through a tunnel.
Yes, please roll to hit. You have readied your attack action. That
14.
does hit.
19 damage.
19
to his face.
damage. You see him explode in another shower of Evil Dead style gore against the tunnel. You hear the squabbling of goblins from the other side of this tunnel. Goblin, 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 goblin! And none more enter in through that hallway. So these guys have moved. This guy worms his way through a tunnel and sees Tom and goes, "Goblin!" and fires an arrow.
It's very intricate language that they speak.
Yes, yes it is. With a 9 to hit you, and decides, nope! And turns around and attempts to wander his way out here. Back through the hole. This guy here is going to wander his way into this room, where Goric, you are on high alert and looking into the rooms left and right of you. You see this goblin making his way through a tunnel.
Okay.
Please cast your grave. Oh, he has to save, right? Against your Toll of the Dead.
Yeah, it's a wisdom save.
It is a wisdom save, thank you. That is a 0. He's not currently damaged, but seeing as he rolled a 0, please go ahead and use the dice roll as if he were damaged.
As if he were damaged?
Yes.
Okay. All right. He's going to take 17
Oh!
points of necrotic
What
damage.
does it look like when your Toll of the Dead one-shots a goblin?
Oh, actually, you know what? He doesn't take 17 points of necrotic damage. He takes... what is it? Is it an extra d6? No, equal to my level. So he actually takes 22 points of necrotic damage.
What does it look like when your Toll of the Dead does double the amount of damage this goblin has life?
So it comes out, and it's too bad none of the other goblins are looking, because I just turn my head towards it. I open my mouth, and this resonant, like, death bell just lashes out, and he just withers and dies. Just instant
a
mummification.
withered,
Dead.
mummified goblin falls to the ground, dead in front
Also,
of you.
Faye is no longer frightened of me because the fear effect only lasts till the end of my next turn.
Perfect.
It's like a one-round thing.
Faye, the terror of looking in across the veil has left your heart for the moment. And that is all of the goblins except this guy, and he just chilling. All right. That brings us back to Sambar. You shot one of the goblins in the... Oh, no, you already went. That brings us to Janlar.
I was about to say, that was quick.
No, I'm sorry. Janlar, you have seen Tom rush in and cause a radiant death upon those that you slept. What do you do?
Well, I don't really see any goblins in my general vicinity, so I'm gonna move up to here, and prepare to. Can I prepare a spell?
Sure.
Yes.
You
Or
can prepare
cantrip?
an action to cast a spell at an appropriate
Yeah, I want to prepare a cantrip in case
Okay.
I come to cast
All right, what do you
Ray
prepare?
of Frost. Ray of Frost.
Ray of Frost at the next goblin that you see within range. Perfect. All right, Rose. The terror has left your heart of the grave. What do you do?
I think 1, 2, 3, 5. I'm just gonna cancel my fog cloud, and I'm gonna double move over here.
Alrighty, I think you moved through his aura again, but it's a 5-foot aura.
Oh, was I out of that? Oh, well, I guess I could circumvent it and just.
I don't think his aura is that big, so I'm gonna let you move through it. We'll ask Mike what's going on with his aura, because he's got like
I could just subtract like 2 tiles and
he's
just.
got like a
walk around.
30-foot aura there, and I don't think that's real. Go ahead and move where you want to.
I can't even see it if he has one.
It's
No, he
this
hasn't put
gray
one on.
circle around him.
Oh, we can't see that.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
Oh. Well, he put it there. Anyway, there we go. You're fine. You move through it. Alright, you cancel your fog cloud, seeing just dead goblins and empty hallway where there was once a group. That is all of your turn, I believe.
Yep.
Alright.
Tom, you are in a now dimly lit room with the corpses of radiantly fried goblins. What do you do?
I see this guy just kind of chilling right on that other side of the hole, like
Uh-huh.
right up against that hole. I'm just gonna throw a javelin right through it.
Alright, you have to roll at disadvantage to throw through the holes.
Darn. Even though he's like right on the other side of it, that's part of the reason I'm
Yeah.
going for it. Okay.
Yep. I had to do the same.
H1.
Me too. They
plus
don't dig straight.
3 plus. I think it's just plus 3. So a 7 to
A
hit.
7. No, your javelin rattles against the side of the hole, and it hits the goblin harmlessly in the backside. All right.
Alright. Actually, I can start moving out here. I'm just gonna like press up against this corner, and if I see any goblins come through holes, I'm gonna get ready to kill.
Okay. That sounds good to me. Which brings us to Gorik, who is gone. Gorik will have to work. We'll have to come back to him. Sambar, what do you do?
Do what I do best, kill me a goblin. So, I'm gonna step out into the hallway expecting to see goblin, and I don't see. Oh, do I see?
You
the end
can
of his,
see.
like,
Yeah, you can
bow?
see him here. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna put an arrow in him.
All right. You kind of shuffle your way into the hall, find a good angle at this guy, and fire. You do hit him.
Yes. Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, he's
21.
very dead. Yes, he is. That is a dead gobloid.
Okay, so I've moved 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet. Yeah, I only got 30 feet to move.
Okay.
I don't see any of them.
No.
Damn. Just
All
see him.
right. That is your turn. So, that brings us to the goblins in lieu of Gorik. Oh no, Gorik's back. Gorik, what happened on your turn?
My wife needed me to move a heavy thing. Great question. There's a lot of dead goblins all over the place here.
Mm-hmm.
I will continue advancing. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Janlar's gonna need to make a charisma save.
We
How
have
long
a
does
question
your
about your
aura
aura.
last?
I thought it was a 5-foot aura, but you've got like 30 feet of aura on your token.
It's a 10-foot.
It's a 10-foot aura.
Any creature within 10 feet of me has to make a save.
Okay.
Technically, the way that it's worded, it's the moment of my transformation. Any creature who's within 10 feet of me is frightened until the end of my next turn. You had Rose make a save when she got into it the first time, because I can maintain it for a minute.
I think because you maintain the aura, I think it's meant to be in there.
Yeah,
Like,
I
don't know why you would have a maintained aura that doesn't do anything.
Well, I maintain it, and while I'm maintaining it, I do extra necrotic damage to the first enemy that I damage on each turn. So that's why I maintain it. I think the transformation is what's technically meant to be terrifying, but it
I like
kind
the
of
terror
But afterwards,
aura.
you just get the damage.
the first time something gets within 10 feet of me, they make the save.
Yeah, I like
But-
that. Let's make that
okay.
aura 10 feet terror.
Okay.
I think that's a
So-
much better use of it. All right.
Yeah, and then they're only frightened for
Till the
one
end
of
of your
my
next
turns.
turn. Yeah.
So,
that sounds good.
yeah.
Janlar,
So
please
Janlar-
make a DC 13 charisma save.
As the angel of death strides past you.
Janlar,
I won't lie, I dig it.
you are terrified as you stare into the visage of death. The light beyond the grave fills your heart with terror. You are frightened until the end of Samar's next turn.
As Goric just
Or until the end of
strides
Gorik's
past
next
you.
turn.
stand aside as I keep walking forwards.
With his 25 feet of movement.
Well,
Slower than
I use 50. I'm dashing, but
All right. Excellent. That was Sambar's turn. Goblins go. All right. So, goblins are in a bad way here. These guys are moving. They're actually gonna do this.
do the goblins need to make a morale check? I know.
I
it's
don't
not
know they're
working,
all dead yet.
This guy knows this was the room of light. He didn't want anything to do with that room.
That sounds about right. It's like, yeah, nah.
Alrighty, this guy has decided he needs to see what's going on. So he pops his head out of this room after having hidden him for a while, and he sees Sambar standing over his dead companions and goes, well, better take a shot. And he's going to hit you with a 23
Yeah, that'll hit.
for 7 points of damage.
right,
Please
he's
go
good.
ahead and
Yeah.
make a
Nice hit.
Constitution save for poison.
I can do that for you. Constitution. Come on, another crit. 24, close enough.
That is, yeah, you save versus poison, you take no further damage. This guy is going to attempt to hide back in his room until it's all over. He is the only goblin that seems able to hide at all right now. All right, that is a goblin's turn. That brings us to Janlar. You are terrified. The fear of the grave is upon you. What do you do?
That just means I can't move closer to Gork, right?
You are frightened. So the frightened status effect says that you have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while you are within line of sight of the source of your fear, and you can't willingly move closer to it.
Okay. If I move on the opposite side of this statue, am I no longer within sight of him?
I guess you could like position yourself right behind the statue to be like, I
what
can't
if I
see
put
you.
my back to it? What if I put
can't
my
see
back
you.
to it?
Yeah, you put your back to it. You look away from it. Yeah, the
Just frantically clicking his heels together.
yeah. There's no place like home. There's no place like
Well, no, I'm
home.
just once I can't see him, I'm no longer like frightened of like I guess I'm frightened, but I'm no longer like
You're still frightened, but you no longer have the negative effects of seeing
Yeah.
the thing frightening you.
yeah. So then I'm just like looking down this hallway direction.
All right. Sounds good.
and preparing to cast Ray of Frost again.
Okay, preparing the Ray of Frost on the next goblin you see. Rose, what do you do?
Well, you said these ones up north, like these have not successfully like hidden or anything. So can I hear them like scrambling?
Yeah. You can hear them making like goblin noises to each other and scratching along the floor tiles as they run.
3, 4. So I'm gonna get over here, and then I'm gonna turn into a tiny badger. Is there a hole over here somewhere
Yes, there
in one of those?
is.
And then I'm gonna pop through. I guess I'm like in that hole in that moment, wherever that is.
Ooh, all right. You put yourself in the hole as a tiny badger. Okay.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah, and like so I can see where they're running over here.
All right.
Yeah.
You stick your little badger head into the hole and you look, and you see a goblin basically right on the other side of the hole.
Right. But I can't attack yet because
Alright.
it takes my action. Because I'm a lad.
Fair enough. And with that, it is Tom's turn. Tom, you are in the corner of this room, a bunch of dead goblins around you. What do you do?
I'll go back out to start helping. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's my full turn.
Okay. Perfect. Gorik.
Does Tom end up running through my aura when
No.
he goes? Okay.
No.
Let's see. I can hear that there are goblins like moving.
Yes,
Sort of.
it seems that there are goblins running through halls on the other side of yours.
Okay. And there was at least one goblin that kind of went, over here somewhere, right? There's like one survivor.
Yeah,
over
somebody shot Sambar from over there, but you're not sure where. He seems to be the only goblin capable of hiding at this point.
there. Okay, so there's one goblin over in that area somewhere, and I can hear a couple goblins kind of running this direction. So I will go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'll move into this room.
Okay.
And then I'll cast Thaumaturgy and make the ground shake, and I'll just tell them to flee.
All right. And so you tell the goblins to flee. The ground shakes and trembles within, I think, 30 feet of you, like a small earthquake.
Something like that, yeah.
The bones rattle upon the grounds around you.
It's an 11 for Intimidate.
And you attempt to intimidate them. Flee, little Drakari. All right.
I don't know if I get a bonus for being an avatar of death at the moment.
Alrighty. Excellent.
But-
You attempt to intimidate the goblins. Perfect. That brings us to Sambar. You are trying to get around the corner. What do you do?
All right. I already measured this out. I can get to just here.
All right. You get
And
to just there.
I
And you
have
see
100
two goblins running down this hallway.
I have 150 feet range, so I can shoot both of these guys in the back.
All right. Shoot this
Poor guys.
first goblin here in the back. You can take advantage on him should you want.
All right. I'll just roll again. Let's see if I crit.
See if you roll a d2. Yeah, you
Crit.
do crit. I don't even know if we need to see the damage. 22. You double his damage as well. A shroud of gore erupts. Like a sniper shoots him. He just falls mid-step to the ground, painting the walls with his blood. His companion, now aware of your presence, is like, ah! You can
And
shoot
then
him.
he'll take an arrow too.
You hit him.
Yeah, he did.
He is indeed dead, although not in quite a spectacular a fashion. But he falls dead to the ground in front of you. Very
We
nicely
can
done,
now
Sambar.
add most hated thing Samba hates is fucking goblins.
Goblins doing it for you, huh?
Yeah, I'm taking way
Alright.
too much damage from just goblins.
Gorik, from where he's at, can't see that Sambar ran around, so he just came up here, said flee, made the ground tremble, and then heard two bodies hit the ground, so he's just going to assume that they died of heart attacks.
Very nice. All right, that brings us to goblin turns. And this goblin looks in the hole, finds an angry badger, and decides that he doesn't want any part of that hole. And runs instead to the other room.
Does he disengage or do I actually get... Holy shit, I don't think I have the tiny...
You weren't in melee combat with him, right?
Right.
So I don't think you get an attack of opportunity for him.
He doesn't move into her threatened space when he looks into the hole right in front of her.
She bites his
I
face.
guess he does. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
really want the
take
tiny
it. Take
badger
an attack of opportunity.
itself.
He looks in the hole, and an angry badger is like, "Psych, son!"
Okay, so the max damage I can deal is 1, but we'll see if I can hit him. 17.
You hit
he
him.
takes 1 damage.
All right, you scratch this goblin as he nopes his ass away from the angry badger. And
That's
this
why
one
he
follows suit. You can swipe him on the way by too.
Nice. Oh my god. I guess that's a miss though.
No, your badger paw couldn't quite get him. He didn't look in the hole far enough. All right, and this goblin is going to decide maybe he's in a bad spot. He's gonna go over here. All right, that is Goblin's turns. Janlar, it is your turn. You have heard the deaths of goblins everywhere. You hear them racing up the hallway to your south. What do?
Well, I'm still pretty low on HP no matter what, so I'm gonna stay with my party and I'm gonna move back this way toward Sandbar so I'm closer to the rest of the party and prepare to cast Ray of Frost if I see one.
All right, perfect. That sounds good to me. Rose, you are an angry badger. You've seen the goblins run past you. What do?
Well, I'm going to jump out of the hole.
All right.
Over here, using my action to return back to my normal form, and then I'm going to Thorn Whip this dude over here.
Is Thorn Whip a bonus action?
Change back.
It is Thorn Whip is an action.
No,
And
Your
bonus action.
transform is a single
I
action.
use
correct?
my bonus action is
You said your
to
action.
transform. Yeah, that it didn't. Maybe I caught up, but like the bonus action is to transform back.
Okay.
It takes a bonus action to transform back. It takes an action to turn for me.
Okay, sounds good. Vine Whip away.
Yep. So that's +8. Oh, that's a miss still. I
It
guess.
is a miss. Your Thorn Whip cannot quite strike the creature as it is hustling past you. Tom,
Right.
what do?
So I run after these goblins, javelin raised and ready to go.
All right, you run around the hall and you see Rose and 2 fleeing goblinoids, now very panicked and yelling at each other in Goblin. Goblin, 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 goblin. Excellent. That is your turn. That brings us to Goric. What do you
Okay.
do?
Well, these 2 goblins just died of heart attacks.
Clearly.
I can't hear any other ones really from where I'm at, so I'm gonna 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I don't think Janlar has to save because it only lasts once. He's already experienced the fear effect.
He's
so I think
already experiencing the fear until the end of this turn for you anyway, right? I don't think he'd double up.
No, I think it ended the turn that I moved down here, but I could be wrong.
Oh, that's
I don't know.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So-
This hallway is meant to be very large, especially for dwarves. You could
Yeah.
squeeze your way around it. It's not 10 feet.
So I'm just gonna kind of move up. I'll double move to there.
Okay. Sounds good. Sambar, what do?
All right, there's a sneaky little goblin fucker with an arrow waiting for him. So I'm gonna move to here, and then I'm gonna hold my action. If that little goblin sucker pops his head out, I'm gonna put an arrow in it.
Where are you looking?
This direction.
All right. Perfect.
'Cause it's
You
very
are
last
ready
boss.
to put an arrow in a goblin.
Yeah.
Excellent. That brings us to goblin turns. Tom, give me a perception check.
Okay. I'm good at those somehow. Got a 12.
Okay. Goblin moves. And these These two here are going to do a little hit and run. They're gonna turn around, fire an arrow at you, Rose. With a 5 and a natural 1. Oh, that is a disappointing arrow. The other one shoots past his friend with a 15.
That's a miss.
All right, they both miss. Get very upset about this. He is going to run into this tunnel and use his attempt to... No one can hide. There's only one successful hiding goblin. And this guy is going to run here and then use his bonus to run again in here somewhere. All right, that is goblins' turns.
I was really hoping that the one that rolled the natural 1 was the one in back, and he would just hit his friend in the back of the head.
That would have been a great natural 1. Janlar, you are still hiding behind this pillar of a statue. What do you do?
Still don't really have a lot of options. Still don't want to get crit by one of these zombies or goblins and get killed. So I'm gonna move back over this direction and prepare to cast Firebolt on anyone trying to exit through this hallway.
All right, sounds like a plan. That brings us to Rose.
Right. I guess I haven't been in that room before. I'm gonna walk in here. 1, 2, 3. Do I see a hole that leads over to this one, or is there nothing?
You do indeed.
Okay. 2, 3. Okay, I would like to try to thorn whip that dude through the wall, I guess. Do I get disadvantage for that?
Yeah, so you're gonna like kneel down, try to look at him through the hole and thorn whip him. Please roll to hit at disadvantage.
I want this goblin to be dragged screaming through the hole.
That would be amazing. That is a 15. A 15
No, that was
hits.
advantage. I rolled the... Yeah, but I still rolled it the wrong way, I'm sorry.
It's
But,
okay.
yeah.
It's a 15. I can read numbers. A 15 hits. Please roll damage.
7.
7 points of damage. He lives, and he gets pulled to within 5 feet of you, correct?
He gets pulled 10 feet closer towards
10
me.
feet closer. He actually gets pulled into the hole and gets stuck there. That's exactly 10 feet. 2 squares. He gets pulled into the hole by, like, shrieking by his, like, torso as the vines wrap around him, and he ends his turn in between the walls in this little hole. Goblin! Alrighty, and he takes 7 points of damage. We will take note of that. Alright. That's the first time a goblin hasn't died outright in a while.
Well, I'll take it as a compliment, Greg. Thank you very much.
You did something cooler. Okay. Killing isn't always the answer.
Alright.
That brings us to Tom.
That's not the one she
All right.
stabbed,
I figure Rose can handle herself for the upper one, and I saw the other one go down into the hole. So I'm gonna come to a stop, spin around, and start heading back the other way.
Alright. Tom runs back around the edge here. Alright, gets to the end. Goric, you see Tom run back around the corner towards you. Ah! What do you do?
Goric is going to advance to this armored goblin, and just bend over and just like bodily pick it up.
Oh, okay. You pick up the corpse of the goblin boss.
And I'm gonna see if it has any stuff on it.
Okay. He has an old scimitar that is dipped in some kind of awful, foul-smelling substance, coated in it. The edge of it, the cutting edge, just is black and sticky. It smells almost like fecal matter. He's also carrying 2 javelins, similarly with their tips dipped, on his back. The armor is made out of kind of a corroded metal chain. It looks dwarven in make, that has been hastily tied around his body with leather straps to try to make it fit a little bit better. He also has a small pouch at his waist, and in it he is carrying 12 gold pieces, all stamped in the old dwarven make. And they seem to be well polished and cared for.
Okay, I will take those.
All right.
And at some point, I'm going to remove his pillaged chainmail, but that's going to take more than an action. So,
Right. Okay, excellent. That is Gorik's turn. Sambar, you see Gorik and his horrifying visage begin picking through the remains of the goblin boss in front of you. You still have not seen your quarry emerge from the hole. What do you do?
That's a bit rude, pillaging somebody else's loot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna move to here and ready my action. If I see a goblin, I'm gonna put an arrow in him.
All right, sounds like a plan. That brings us to goblin turns. So we have a goblin that's in this hole that has been thorn whipped. It is not like that, but it also knows that it probably needs to escape. So it's gonna spend a little bit of movement to get out of the hole. And it's gonna fire a shot at Rose, hopefully taking her down. With a 7, sees that his shot is wildly terrible. Squeaks and Goblin runs through this hole, and then finishes his movement like over here and attempts to hide. God, these are lesser goblins than the ones you fought before. This one in here is going to pop out of this hole, thinking it was well hidden, but alas, it was not. And Janlar, you see it and are prepared with your Ray of Frost.
Firebolt.
Oh, were you preparing Firebolt?
This time was Ray of Frost.
Oh, I'm sorry. I assumed you were preparing Firebolt. Ray of Frost. Instead, Janlar whips his hands together, shoots out a ball of fire that strikes the goblin.
Remember, you're level 5, so it's 2d10.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
For 13 points of damage, killing it instantly in a ball of flame. A very surprised goblin goes before he dies. Excellent. And this goblin here is the only one that's been any good at hiding. It peeks its head out around the corner, doesn't see anybody, and decides that it's doing okay. So it's just gonna start moving down this hall. Alright, perfect. That is Goblin's turn. Which brings us to Sambar. What do you do?
Okay. I just went. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
it's
I always do
Rose.
this after the goblins because we're tied.
Rose.
It's Rose. It's Janlar actually. He's a 14.
Oh, right, that was a reaction.
Yeah. My bad. I always want to go back to Sambar. Janlar, what are you doing?
Do I have another turn now?
Yeah, so
Do I
you
get
were preparing your firebolt if anything came across. You saw
From the
it.
last round. and
Now
then
it's your
now
turn.
Nice. I'm gonna just prepare another firebolt.
All right, you're prepared. Rose, your quarry
Yep.
ran away into the room after shooting an arrow at you. What do you do?
If I were to press against the wall, would I still see him through the hole, or is he too far around the corner?
Yeah, I think you could like try to angle your way through this hole. Yeah, if you like got right up next to it. Sure.
Okay.
Please roll a hit at disadvantage. A
Well, that's not
23
right.
still hits.
Or 8 damage.
8 damage! He gets wrapped up in your vines, gets dragged towards you, and dies. That is a very...
I guess he just breaks his neck horribly as I pull him through the hole, and he just, bangs his head against the upper part. So
Yes.
Just imagine you just like smashing him over and over again in this.
You grab him with your vines, yank him towards you. His neck snaps as it rams against the edge of the hole. It's a very gruesome deed. Oh, all right. That is a dead goblin. There's one left, and he's hidden and sneaking through the halls. That brings us to Tom. What do you do?
I see the goblin I was chasing die, and I just give up. I drop the javelin to the ground and say, "Let me know when you're done." And he sits down against the wall and just starts taking a drink from his water skin.
All right. Sambar, Gorik, that brings us to you. What do you do?
I think I'll drop my necrotic shroud
Okay.
at this point, because near as I can tell, they're all dead. I guess I don't know if we've killed the one that was over here yet or not, but I can't see anything anymore. So
All right.
I'll do
It
that.
seems the party is gearing down. Sambar, are you also gearing down at the end of this fight?
Hell no.
No,
I'm gonna fight
okay.
that fucker.
All right. What are you doing?
Okay, so this is Sambar's chain of thought. he knows there's tunnels out of everywhere. So I know he's not in that top room where he shot me. So he's going to let out a mighty bleat and then run here and look down the hallway.
Oh, and lo and behold, you see a goblin sneaking his way down the hall here. He is very well hidden, but he stepped out into this main hall. He's creeping away from, or creeping around with here. He knows there's sounds of death in there. But you see this goblin right here.
I know him. He's marked for death, so I'm going to shoot him.
All right. Please roll to hit.
Little sucker. Yeah, that hits him.
All right.
He's
for 16, he dies. A surprised goblin bleat.
He just bleeds back at you.
He bleeds back as all of the goblins now lay dead in this room. And once again, the tomb returns to that eerie silence.
Okay.
Is Gorek back to normal? I'm not coming out until he's back to normal.
Yeah, Gorek's moved over here to look into this room.
Okay.
Yes, Rose. The shroud of death is gone.
You go to the far end, near one of these smoldering fire pits, and you look into the room. And it is much like you saw in the previous tomb. There is a large kind of square room with a statue of one of the founders of the house in the center of it. The walls are lined with shells that have been disturbed and taken, and the bones taken and strewn across the floor. Whatever valuables here, lifted and gone. Also around here, you see like makeshift goblin beds, like piles of rotting rags and cotton bundled up in irregular, lumpy looking mounds. There are probably 15 of them in this room, and as you take a little look across the other room, you see similar mounds in there. In one corner, down in the very farthest corner away from you, where I'm pinging here, you see just a mounded pile of goblin crap that stinks unbelievably to high heaven. In some places it is slimy and icky and fresh, and some it's petrified and old. And in all of it, you see the ends of scimitars and arrows and spears just like placed down into it, heads first, with their shafts up in the air.
Disgusting.
But effective.
If it works.
Yeah. Well, I'll turn and look at Tom and I'll say, I think it would be a good time for us to take a rest now. There are probably more goblins. There are 15 beds in here. I cannot say how many are in the other, and I point across over to the room across from me, but I do not think we have eliminated all of them yet.
Excellent. Let's fall back and take a rest and do more tomorrow.
All right. So, in order to take a long rest, you need to spend like 22 hours in here, right?
That's great.
You've only
perfect.
been adventuring for like an hour or two this day since you last slept. So you're gonna spend a day's worth of time in this tomb?
Might as well. I mean, I have nothing left to burn at this point. Like there's
All right.
there's not if we're expecting more combat, I feel like it's time to fall back and rest, because the only thing I can recover at this point is Radiance of the Dawn, and that's the one thing I have before I'm out of tools for the day again.
All right. So
Also, eye is hurting.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
I'm standing there with like a fuck ton of arrows sticking out of me, and as Rose comes around the corner, I'm like, "Can you grab that arrow?" As I'm like plucking arrows out of my
Yeah,
armor.
it's probably the same thing. Like you see Tom drinking water and then like reaching down and pulling an arrow out of his stomach, and yeah.
Alrighty. So, what I want to know then is, what do you do in your day down in this silent tomb? How do you spend your waking hours before you rest again?
I put anything of value to goblins, but not to us, in one of the fires and make it nice and big so Janla can see decently. And I think it'd probably be eating and sitting around, as Sandbar does best.
Okay.
Sandbar, we need to buy a board game for days like these.
Or we could just not be in crypts sitting around, right? I could be making arrows, but I'm pretty much out of materials.
Where are we resting? Are we trying to rest in this area?
I assume we were going back to like our spot at the very beginning of the tomb.
Okay.
I'd rather rest around here because then I
fine.
would have something to do.
Sure.
So you're leaving the tomb floor. You're going back up where you rested.
I think
the
we're
night
staying here
before.
actually,
You're
because
staying
others
here.
others seem to want to stay. So yeah,
Okay.
I guess we'll clear out one of these rooms and make temporary lodgings.
We might be able to rest in the room where the gelatinous cube was. There was no evidence of goblins in that room.
Yeah.
I don't want to defile it with a fire, though. I'm actually going to burn all of their wooden equipment.
Oh, I vote we throw every goblin except the goblin boss into the 2 bonfires that they have over here already.
Why not the
Oh.
goblin boss?
Because I have questions for him, I say ominously.
Does that?
Sir?
I know what you're talking about. Does that work when you don't speak the language?
It does if I prepare the tongue spell.
Okay.
So, Greg, I want to spend my really long break sorting through all of this nice goblin trash. And since Rose is kind of a librarian, she just sorts them by category. So she's going to do dented helmets over on the left side from really good condition to, slightly worse condition.
All
Then she
right.
puts it all nice into little categories in case
The
Greg
minute you
wants to
touch or
do something.
take
with it.
anything from one of these piles, the rest of the pile just comes crashing down in just a
Yeah.
cacophony of metallic jangling. But you, after having knocked these all down and alerting the entire place to your presence, you begin sorting through it. Most of it you find to be trash. But you spend a good day investigating through it. So, in your process there, you find 10 gold pieces worth of like small metallic trinkets. The most of it is rusted or rotted or in some way unusable. But there are still some nice pieces of dwarven metallurgy here. Some of them are small dwarven kind of prints, as if they were meant to be hung on walls, that are dented and old, but are still probably worth something to you. There are also some just small coinage, as well as just, valuable pieces of antiquity, right? Just mugs and silverware and things from the dwarven halls that have been piled up here that you believe are valuable. The rest of it you have sorted into junk. You also find a dwarven warhammer that seems to be in fairly good shape. Of oddly among the rest of it. It was buried in one of the larger piles around a lot of junk. But the Dwarven Warhammer is engraved with a clear symbol of Ungral upon it. And the hammer seems to have withstood the test of time very well.
Gorik, can you come over here?
I'm assuming this has taken Rose some time.
Yes.
Oh, it takes hours.
Yeah.
So we could do it after you talk if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, well, I was gonna. Well, no, I have to get access to 3rd level spells by taking a long rest before I can do that. But before we rest, because we're resting down here where we just fought, right?
That seems to be
Are there tunnels in this north wall leading into the area above it, the way that there was in the last?
There are indeed.
So Gorik's gonna take the first, when we decide to rest here, Gorik is gonna plug those holes with whatever large solid objects he can find. just to prevent goblins from coming in that way.
There is plenty of rubble just from both age and from the abuse of goblins, tearing up the place. You can find large slabs of stone that you can wedge your way in here as best you can.
Yeah. First things first is for securing this area against goblin intrusion while we rest. I'll plug all that up. And then, are you guys all hurt? Did you all take a bunch of damage? Do you need to be healed?
Me!
Same. Except if we're going to do a long rest anyways, there's not much point,
Right, but if we get interrupted or anything, we don't want to be...
in that case, it's probably a good idea.
I was also going to set up my small trap that I have for being a huntsman.
Sure.
Babe, have you taken any damage?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'll use my last second level spell slot to cast Prayer of Healing at some point, like early in the rest, and give 19 points of health back to everyone.
All right.
And is anyone still hurt after that?
No. Oh.
Sambar, you've taken more damage?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe like 20 in one round earlier.
I'll do that, and then
I should be okay. I'm at 38 or 44 now that I work it out.
Okay. All right. I'll save my healing hands ability then in case we get interrupted and somebody needs to be healed on the fly. It's getting increasingly warm in this room.
But
Want to trade? It's getting colder here because the sun's coming. I would like to set up my small hunting trap. I want to literally snag a goblin leg if he comes looking.
Okay, where do you set up your trap?
I want to set it up just before the trash piles.
Okay, just on the other side of the trash piles leading into this main tomb.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You step over and around Rose, who's meticulously organizing and lining up the various piles of trash along the side here.
Do you think this one is more dented than this one?
I'd say the first one is better than the second one, because you look at that dent, it's more like somebody jabbed it, where that one it just looks like it's been dropped.
But this one has a giant scratch on the other side, look, and I turn it around.
Oh, okay, yeah, that one's more fucked than that one.
Okay, thank you!
All right.
Greg, are there tunnels in the south wall?
There are no tunnels in the south wall.
Okay. All right. So yeah, after plugging the north holes and healing people in case we get interrupted or anything, I'll go find Faye because she was calling me.
Alrighty. Millman, I would like for you to make a
survival.
Yes, I think it'd probably be a tools check, right? Is there a tool proficiency that you have for hunting?
No, I just have my
no hunter's trap proficiency. Okay, then why don't we make a survival check? And I think that we want to use a wisdom modifier or attribute to hide this correctly in a place where it would still be effective, but not very easily seen.
24.
All right, you set up your trap. And your day passes very uneventfully. The dice were very kind to you. It seems that despite Rose's clanging upon the trap set up here, if it did alert anyone else to your presence, they have avoided you this day, and you are finally able to take your long rest and lay your heads down, however easily or uneasily, for the night. And I think we will go ahead and take our second break there and come back on the other side of your long rest. So we will set this up for about 5 minutes of break, and we will see you on the other side. Peace.